This is the 2023 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Yeast Experiment, British Brown Ale. Thanks to our sponsors: Imperial Yeast, 5 Star Chemicals, Yakima Valley Hops, Beer and Wine Hobby Homebrew Store, and Brewers Hardware. Let's get tasting.
Hello everyone, Kurt here from Fermentation Adventures yet again. Checking in with another beer in the Brewtubers Yeast Experiment. This beer that we are trying right now is from Exit 12 Homebrew. Exit 12, or Nick, has brewed this beer here. As you can see, Nick really upped the label game for this beer. If I can show this off. Has a little QR code on there, which I believe will go to an Untapped page here. But again, showing off Nick's can because he did put what looks to be a decent amount of work into it. Nick used Imperial House as his strain for the beer. He had an OG of 1061 and a final gravity of 1013. I think from now on when I misspeak, I'm just going to lean into it. It's probably the best option. A ABV of 6.3% alcohol, canned on October the 12th. So it has been in the can just about 2 months. And yeah, again, no particular name for this, British Brown Ale. And it was brewed on September the 4th. So here is the can. Let's get to pouring this this beer out, and let's see how it looks to start. And nice hiss, nice foam coming right out of the can. And I will pour up. Nice, really nice head here. So to this point, this is the second to last beer, the 7th beer that I've reviewed in the experiment here. This is the nicest head, or the biggest head that we've probably had. Again, a finger and a half. Nice thick bubbles, except for some rocky bubbles on the top that you're going to get from pouring from a can. There's no way around it. Again, fine with gelatin. Clarity is quite nice. This is pretty clear. Again, trying to look through this. It is bordering on brilliant clarity here. It's nice and clear. Again, that foam is really sticking around, which is nice. It's still at about a finger of foam sticking around right now. And again, it's the same ivory to beige colored head that we've seen in all the beers. Again, not a surprise. Again, moving on to the aroma. Let's try the aroma for this. Cheers. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely, this is probably certainly a bit more complex than some of the other aromas that I've gotten. There is, in this beer here, I am certainly getting some of that burnt brown, again, it's not burnt, the brown sugar effect I'm getting from everyone. Again, I am getting a little bit in the back, the toasted, the dark toast, rich toast aroma in here. What's the other? I'm getting something else in here. It's not really an ester, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, maybe it must. I would say it's probably on the some of the raisin character coming through. Again, there might be a little bit of a yeast ester that's kind of supporting that and driving some of the malt notes into giving it what I would think of some of that like dried fruit, the dark dried fruit aroma. And let's hear again. Not really what I'm thinking. I'm not really picking up any hop aroma from this. Again, nothing really overt from a yeast ester standpoint. Unless, again, like I said, that dark fruit is probably coming in and maybe the malt is combining with somewhat of a light citrus ester to kind of give that, again, probably not citrus, but light fruity esterness to kind of give us a kind of like a dark dried fruit effect. So let's try a sip. Interesting. That's really interesting. Again, 6.3. I have mentioned other times. Maybe if I'm thinking back, again, I'm not really. I don't taste any of the ethanol or like any of the alcohol that I was kind of tasting on some of the other examples, which is interesting. Yeah, I got a little bit in there that time. Again, bitterness. I don't even really. Again, I would think, I mentioned mine again for in a brown beer. It's probably a little bit more bitter. This, again, I know there's bitterness in there to really balance everything out. It's not overtly sticking out here. It is taking again, from Nick's beer, I do get a nice creamy mouthfeel from it, which is really nice. Again, that it's probably the carbonation in here is really not getting like any of that carbonic bite, and it seemed to be, at least from opening the can, it did present with a little bit of the higher head that it was fairly carbonated, but it really made this nice mouth coating foamy effect when I drink it. And it's not exactly creaminess, but it is giving like a real nice creamy effect, so to speak, to make it a real pleasant drink. Yeah, and again, not for the bitterness, but from the flavor, there's definitely that, not the herbal, I wouldn't even say the herbal, but kind of like there's definitely hops that are some hop flavor that's poking through from this, and it's really complementing the beer really well. Again, as I recall, there is Fuggle and EKG in this. It must be the EKG, and they're kind of giving somewhat of a sort of a floral, not really on the herbal end, not really on the earthy end, but a really nice, almost, maybe it's a bit of that classic orange marmalade is what I'm tasting in there for an EKG. It's definitely, I have to say it's from the hop effect, and it's really complementing everything really well. Really like it. Yeah, again, and again, more on the aroma with the retro nasal. Definitely getting the toasted beer effect from this. This is a really tasty beer. Really enjoying it. So again, in the flavor, I think I might have talked about everything pretty much. Again, the finish, it's not overly dry. It's, again, it's right in the mid-range, probably between the dry and sweet. It's not really like a real sickly, sweet, thick beer. I would say it's appropriately a nice, brown that's really appropriate for this time of the year. It's really, really good. Really like that. Really, it's a really good beer. All right, what else do I want to talk about here? Touched on the body. Again, astringency. I'm not getting absolutely any astringency from this. There's no warming effect. I think I tasted a little bit of ethanol in there at one point, and you can see here we're getting some a nice little bit of lacing on the end here, and again the foam is kicking around. It's a really pretty beer in the glass there. So I think that's it for me on this. Bitterness and hops. Yeah, I think there's definitely some of that orange marmalade flavor poking through on the hops. The finish and aftertaste finishes appropriately, probably on the middle of the scale. There's probably like a medium finish. The aftertaste is quite nice. Let me just, because this is probably warmed up a bit. Let me smell. Yeah, see, that's one thing I've noticed as well. If I smell the can after the fact, whatever it is, maybe it's because, like John Kimmich says, maybe you should drink from the can, but I get like a chocolate aroma from the can itself. It's really interesting. I do get like a chocolatey aroma from the beer in the can, and I don't necessarily get it in the glass, which is really weird, and is probably shows the presentation or the difference in the the serving vessel. But yeah, the chocolatey notes are there in the can. Maybe it's because it's probably warming up a little bit faster in here because there's only a little bit left. But yeah, I think that's it. So if I rank this, I'll probably so again, I still like Billy's beer the best. The malt presentation in the beer that Billy brewed with the WL002, it was just I really enjoyed it. It was just like a real richness to it. I'll be nice and I'll say I like Nick's better than mine at this point. It's obviously a good beer as well, but I'd say the Exit 12 is the second. My beer is still third. Rounding it out, just going through each individual one. So that leaves Brookside 4, Burgles 5, Wrecked 6, and Jerry down in with the Brewmaster Jerry down in 7th with the unfortunately undercarbed beer. But that's it. I'll wrap it up there. I'd want to thank our sponsors. Again, count my fingers to make sure I get all 5. 5-Star Chemicals, Brewers Hardware, Beer and Wine Hobby, Imperial Yeast, and 5-Star Chemicals. Huge thanks to all those companies for supporting us. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Maybe folks enjoy me talking about tasting beers. I don't know. I think I ramble a little bit, but again, if you like these videos, you want to send me homebrew and want me to taste it and record it, I'll happily do that. So that's it. One more to go. I will see you later. Thank you.